Join my two other children, Princess Dinah, my oldest, the future Queen of Hearts, and Charles, her younger brother, the pride of my heart. Lies, thought Dinah, willing the hot tears flooding her eyes to stay put. He speaks lies. It is my prayer and my command that this kingdom will embrace my daughter as their new Duchess of Wonderland. If I so much as hear any whispers of the word bastard, those men or women will lose their heads to my heart sword. With a laboured breath, Dinah twisted her arm out of her father's grasp. She could feel the attention of the crowd focus on her, thousands of mouths hungry for gossip watching her every move. Her black eyes shining like simmering coals, she stared down at Vittery. The waif with the blonde hair took a timid step toward Dinah. Dinah watched her warily, unsure what to do. She felt like screaming and hurling something at her, but she didn't dare. The girl reached out her petite hand. "My sister," she whispered with a hint of pleading. The crowd inhaled. Dinah met the girl's blue eyes with a furious scowl and raised her head to the King of Hearts. "Thank you, Father. I shall welcome her gladly into our family." She choked on her last word. She grabbed the girl's warm hand in her cold one and gave a hard squeeze. The hall erupted in music and cheers as everyone bowed before the two girls and their father. The king saw that the moment he had been waiting for had arrived. "I invite you all to join us for a celebratory dinner feast in the dining hall," he announced. The crowd quickly began dispersing, hungry for the piles of tarts and steaming meat that no doubt awaited it. Dinah took a step backward toward the stairs, happy to be released, fearful that her father would see her cry. "Not you," growled the king, pulling her back, his hand clasped tightly around her arm. Dinah let out a whimper. "What was that?" he hissed. "Why aren't you happy to meet your new sister?" Dinah spun around to face him. The tears that she had been holding spilled out over her nose and chin. "What about my mother? I thought, she whispered. The king's face lit up with fury, and muttering angrily, he dragged her away from the eyes of the crowd, back behind the thrones, so large they concealed both of them. He grabbed her chin in his hands and held it close, the scent of wine washing over her face with his hot breath. "I never want you to mention your mother again, not in front of Vittery. Daviana's name will not be spoken in these halls." Dinah gave a sharp cry. The king's face was growing red. "Stop it! Stop crying! You need to be glad today, you ungrateful wretch. You have a sister. Be happy." He was shaking her violently now, and she felt her knees begin to buckle. Suddenly, a long, thin hand curled over the king's shoulder. "Your Majesty, allow me to deal with her. Princess Dinah has no doubt had an emotional day. I'm sure this is quite a shock for her." Cheshire, the king's advisor, slithered into view. His face was long and flexible, as if he had no underlying bone structure. He had thick black hair and black eyes. His pale lips were almost the same shade as his skin, but you never saw them, for they were always curled back in a smile, bearing his enormous white teeth. Even when Cheshire was smiling and friendly, he looked dangerous. Lean and sinewy, he towered over the king, radiating malice. He was dressed as he always was, in a plum-coloured velvet vest and breeches over black boots. A white sash with each card symbol draped from his left shoulder to the floor, denoting his authority over all the cards. There was no one above Cheshire but the king. A brilliant purple cloak poured over his hard shoulders. Dinah stared up at Cheshire with confusion.